If you currently feel stuck in life, like you're going through the motions, you're bored, you lack clarity, fulfillment, you're not happy, think of that as your check engine light. That discomfort is your greatest catalyst to create change in your life. And that discomfort is your invitation that it's time to evolve. Today, I'm going to walk you through how you got to feeling like you're stuck in a rut, because I've been there. I've done that. But more importantly, I'm going to give you the tools on how to break free from where you're currently at to create wanted results. Here's what you have to know at a foundational level. You don't get what you want in life. So if you're wanting freedom, if you're wanting abundance, you want a lover, success, health, wanting is the exact thing that keeps you from having it. Your current results in life are based on or a reflection of who you are being. There's only 3 things that have created every result in your life, and it's these 3 things that you have to upgrade. So let's get into it. The 3 things that have created every result are simple. It's your habitual thoughts that then drive your emotional states, and it's your emotions that drive your habits, your actions. That's it. And it's these 3 things that have created your current results in life. So the first step to creating change in your life is always awareness. Look at where you're currently at in all of the major life buckets: your health, finances, relationships, business, and happiness, your social life, your hobbies. If you're not happy, pick one area of life, and I'm going to walk you through on how you upgrade it. Because when you upgrade the common denominator in all of those major life buckets in your current results, you realize it's you. So when you change, everything improves for the better. So as I said, the first step to creating change in your life is awareness. How do you become aware of what's going on internally? Because what's truly happening is, Dr. Bruce Lipton says this: your life is a printout of your subconscious programming. Your subconscious programming is 95% of what's driving these 3 things every single day. Most people are trying to change the 5% by coming up with, okay, I need bigger goals. I need to hustle and grind. I need to work harder. But your conscious mind is 5%. You're wasting your time. It would be like mowing the weeds in your mental garden. They're going to grow back. Let's get to the root cause, which is exactly what I coach my clients through. The 95% driving everything, your subconscious. So the first step, you're becoming aware. But how do you even become aware of what's going on subconsciously? Your emotions are the check engine light. Your emotions are the biggest thing that you can change because they're in between what's going on. But your emotional states are what drive your habits. So let's write out some emotional states most of my clients find themselves stuck in. And this is why they have unwanted results, which is probably where you find yourself. If you're living in constant states of stress, fear, self-doubt, worry, you're dwelling on the past, all of these emotional states keep you looping in autopilot. You are literally stuck in a rut. You're stuck in a mental, emotional rut. And if these don't change, this is why you procrastinate. It's why you're inconsistent. It's why I hear this often: I know what I need to be doing, but I'm still not doing it. It's because these, and really it's mainly stress, is keeping you looping. Or you're numbing out on vices. And think about your vices. We all have them. And I don't believe there's anything wrong in moderation. But if you're spending hours a day doom scrolling, if you're drinking every night of the week, if you're overeating and stuffing your emotional states, if you're using other vices to distract you, of course you're going to stay stuck. If nothing changes internally in your mental, emotional states, which drive your habits, nothing changes externally, your results won't change. So if you feel stuck in a rut, look at the emotions you're living from. Name them, write them out. Second step I want you to do, get real, be honest. What habits aren't serving you? The biggest ones I see are these three. Procrastination, maybe you get started, but you always fall off, so you're inconsistent, and of course, vices. These three are the biggest barriers keeping you stuck. And all of these, you have the power to change when you understand life is 100% an inside game. So this is how you got to where you're currently at. And this is all being driven daily by your subconscious mind. Think of it like your OS. I like to think of my subconscious mind as my operating system. And just like your smartphone, there is nothing inherently good or bad with your phone, but it's only as good as the operator or the apps installed. So here's the thing. And this isn't your fault, but much of your subconscious programming happened at a very young age when you didn't have an analytical mind to filter out disempowering beliefs. You took in as fact what you learned from mom, dad, culture, environment, and community, which has programmed you into believing money is hard to come by. There's no good men or women out there. I have to work hard to make money. Whatever you believe to be true is true for you. And your beliefs are just thoughts you keep thinking. So if the beliefs don't change, if we don't upgrade the OS, the subconscious mind, you can only keep thinking the same thoughts, living in the same emotional states, having the same habits, getting the same results. And then what happens is you are stuck going through the motions in autopilot for 2, 5, even 10 years. I literally had a call this week with an individual who reached out to me for coaching. Now, he has been stuck for a while, honestly, decades. But the biggest barriers, some life experiences that happened just 5 years ago, have kept him looping in the story. Pay attention to the stories you tell, because whatever you think about and speak about, you bring about. If you keep talking about what's not working, it keeps you in these disempowering mental, emotional states, driving unwanted habits. We live into the stories we tell. So along with awareness, if you don't change the stories you're telling, you're not going to change your results. And the one piece behind all of this, if we pull this all together, is the state and identity you operate from. Think version 2.0, which is exactly what I coach my clients through. Now let's get into that. Before we deep dive how you upgrade the subconscious, how you upgrade the identity. If you want to fast track where you are, get out of this rut, get out of your own way. It's exactly what I coach my clients through. I invite you to apply and learn more by clicking on the link in the description box below, or you can visit my website, heatherhakes.com. I coach my clients through this process in 8 weeks so you can fast track where you are and start creating the results you know you're capable of living. So now let's get into the identity piece of all of this. This is crucial and it's everything. Now, a lot of personal development out there is mainly focused on habits, which is surface level. Habits are downstream from thoughts and emotions, but really in front of all of this driving it is identity. Who you believe you are, your beliefs, your self-image. It's your perceptions. And of course, we've already talked about the emotions that you're living from. And this was proven by Maxwell Maltz. This guy wrote a book called Psychocybernetics. He was a surgeon and psychologist, and he learned through the work that he was doing, he could fix somebody's perceived deformities. Because he was a plastic surgeon, right? So people believed, pay attention to this, they had beliefs and a negative self-image. I'm not successful. I don't do well in sales because of the size of my ears, the size of my nose, because of the scar on my face. These are stories in the book. So Maxwell Maltz did the plastic surgery. He fixed the surface level, but many of his clients stayed in the same results. Why? Because you can fix the exterior, but if you don't upgrade the interior, the identity, your self-image, your beliefs, none of that external surface level stuff lasts. And that's why most people stay stuck, is because you're trying to change things at the surface level. Now let's get to the root cause. As I've shared, identity is everything. That is part of the subconscious mind, driving 95% of your results. So how do you upgrade it? Well, you upgrade it just the way it was programmed to begin with. Now, from birth up until age 7, you are primarily in theta brainwave state. Let's write this down. Theta is crucial here. Why? Think of theta as self-hypnosis. When you're in a theta brainwave state, your subconscious mind is now open and receptive to new thoughts and emotional states. But most people are living in stress, fear, doubt, worry, pressure, and urgency, keep them in higher brainwave states like beta and high beta. You can't access the subconscious mind in those high brainwave states. You have to access it in theta. Now, you are naturally in theta brainwave state 2 times every single day. You can get into theta state through meditation and breath work throughout the day. It just takes a lot more effort. But first thing in the morning and last thing before you fall asleep at night, you are naturally in theta brainwave state. This is your prime opportunity every single day to consciously choose. Now, this is when the 5% comes into play. In this theta brainwave state, you get to consciously choose the thoughts and beliefs that you want to be thinking. You get to consciously choose the emotional states, feeling empowered, feeling confident, feeling grateful and abundant. And what it comes down to is, in this theta brainwave state, you get to mentally rehearse. So in this state, in a meditative state, you are thinking and feeling from the new version of you, how you want to show up every day. And you can do this by reverse engineering. If you want love and connection and a thriving relationship, how would you feel? Write down the emotional states. You would feel grateful, you would be in love, you would be happy, you would be light, and you would be free. Okay. Well, if I want to get that result, I have to be thinking and feeling from that state of being. That becomes who I am, your identity. Now, the key is twice a day in theta brainwave state to mentally rehearse thoughts and emotions, thoughts and emotions. The language of your subconscious mind are emotions. Its language is emotional. That's why 5%, just your conscious mind, logics, analytics, goals, dreams, wishes, desires don't work, because you're not speaking the subconscious language. You need both thoughts and emotional state. Once you've done that, that's only part of the picture. And this can take a few minutes in the morning, a few minutes before bed. But the key is, once you've spent those few minutes mentally rehearsing, thinking and feeling how you're going to show up, now you have to get your habits to match your intentions. This is where most people fall short. You might set a big, hairy, audacious goal. You might sit down in the morning and mentally rehearse how you're going to show up. But if you default to, and that's the key word, default is the old OS. Defaulting is the old identity. Every time you default to procrastinate, to being inconsistent, to numbing out on vices, you're feeding that old identity. Every time you don't follow through, you're not building self-trust, and self-trust is everything. You have to build that self-trust to have confidence, conviction, and feel empowered that when you show up as this, what you want becomes inevitable, and it does. If you can stay consistent and get your habits to match your intentions. So what I've really broken down for you is, number one, you have to understand how you got to where you're at, your current results, based on who you are being, the state and identity you operate from. And your current results don't have to be final, but they are feedback. And when you understand that life is 100% an inside game, that when you start showing up differently by thinking and feeling new mental emotional states, that's why mental emotional discipline is everything. When you're thinking and feeling different and you're consistent in taking aligned actions, increasing your finances, bettering your relationships, improving your health, or growing your business become natural byproducts based on who you are being. Nothing changes externally until you upgrade who you are being internally. Now, let me know what questions you have. Drop them below in the comment box. And now it's time to go put this into play for yourself. Knowledge alone is not power, but application, implementation is. Thanks for tuning in to today's video. Make sure you subscribe to my channel so you're the first to know when new videos drop. And give me a thumbs up. I'll catch you on the next one.